What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go pick you up some merch at nsfa.co. I'm just about to head into the gym and get my workout on. Make sure you guys go also subscribe to the Rumble, Big Herc 916, Fresh Out, Rumble, and also Fresh Out Locals. We got a Locals channel. You know, over there I can talk freely about politics, social issues, a lot of things that I get censored over here about. But yeah, man, I was about to go into the gym, and I was just thinking about the power of words and how the way someone articulates themselves affects their development, affects their upbringing as far as how somebody talks to them as a child, as a youth, as an adult. All these things create impressions which form opinions and views. And when you're a child and you have someone telling you that you're very smart, you're intelligent, you have the ability to achieve things, you're going to be all right, you're going to be successful, it instills a level of confidence. It instills a belief system, and it also creates trust. So when faced with decisions which may conflict with the person who's giving you praise, you can make the adjustment, make the right choice. It has a stronger impression on you than making a bad choice. Not to say you can't make the bad choice, but it's likely you'll make the right choice. Sometimes you'll make the bad choice just because you may want to prove yourself also, because you've been instilled with that confidence. So it can backfire, but most of the time it keeps you making the right decisions, because in the back of your mind you're thinking about the person who believes in you. You don't want to let them down. Now, on the flip side of that, when you're raised and somebody's telling you ain't gonna be shit, look at your daddy, oh, you little bastard, you little nappy head, you little knucklehead, you little baby, little ashy ass, you little dirt bug, you know, just negative stuff. Oh, you know, you ain't gonna amount to nothing. Oh, you always messing up. You're always doing something wrong. You never could listen. You're hard-headed. You start believing that shit. You start believing that shit, and therefore, when you do wrong, it's as though you're fulfilling a prophecy. And all these things play a factor. How powerful words are. And it's no different than, you know, listening to certain music all the time, hearing, you know, negative connotations. Even though as you get older, you can separate the negative connotation maybe from a good beat, but when you're a child, you're not that intelligent. You can't really separate the two. So it does leave an impression and can affect your behavior. I say this because I can remember being in juvenile hall, and when I did go to visiting, and I seen some of the family members of other people I'm visiting, and I looked at these cats, a lot of them, you know, straight drug dealers and gangbangers. You know, this is in the 80s. These cats, you know, gangsters. And then you look at the, you know, the family members, the gangsters, mom gangster. I've seen moms come in their rags hanging out their pocket, you know, girlfriends, baby mamas banging, grandpa, he banging, it's just a cycle. And then the way they communicate, it also conveyed a certain type of perspective. Not judging that perspective, I just now reflecting, looking at something that maybe you don't really notice when you're young, but you look back and you can, look at, it's no different than if you were in a military academy. And, I've lived on a military base, and I heard how fellow military enlisted address each other, than how they address the officers, or how they carry themselves around officers. All these things affect a person's behavior. When you talk about why certain situations occur, why certain individuals embrace a certain behavior pattern or lifestyle, it's because they've been programmed to do so. You got to unprogram yourself, man. And you got to unprogram yourself, hopefully, before you get into a place where you're trapped and you can't leave for whatever much time, and you're dealing with a reality that you can't run from. I've had that situation too. When I got locked up, and then I started really seeing what was going on, and I couldn't leave until the time was up, man. I had to do that time. And one of the things in there that they try to program you with is you're an inmate. You're a convict. Inmate, convict. See, I replaced inmate, convict with entrepreneur, businessman. That's what I kept telling myself, and I kept saying I was passing through. And when I would have conversations with people, people, oh, I'm doing this bid, man. Doing this time, bidding, man, and I'm inmate, blah blah blah, and they would do that stuff, and I was like, it was like I would hear it and I wouldn't say nothing, but I'm like, that's not me. And I would fight like hell to not let the psychological chain they had on these guys also affect me. Because once you start believing that, then it's hard to divorce yourself from that. It's hard to separate yourself from that. So all these things play a factor. You call you're each other the N-word all day. You call each other, hey, you big dummy, or you buster. He a buster. He a this and that. If you call, nobody likes to be called a buster. You start talking about buster, like, oh, I'm not no buster. That's like fight words. People have been killed for calling somebody a buster or a mark. So it's so powerful to watch for misnomers and how you describe yourself or describe other people, and what you perceive yourself to be. Always perceive yourself to be the highest spiritual being possible, and that will allow you to elevate your consciousness and to not be pulled into a low frequency vibration that can put you in harm's way, that can cause you heartache, confrontation, unhappiness. And it's a struggle. It's not easy, because when you're trying to get up out of there, a lot of times you pull back and you realize you're by yourself. A lot of people don't want to come with you. A lot of people will say, you've changed, you're not the same. Then you're trying to acclimate into something else, and redefine yourself, and people think, oh, you're trying to be like them because you're, in their mind, you're not supposed to evolve. Evolving is when you change your perception of life and you want to keep moving forward. You're not stuck in a certain mind state or mind frame. You're constantly educating yourself. You're constantly trying to learn. That's evolving. That's a good thing. Just because you've changed or trying to do other stuff, just because you never did something as a child or your dad never did it, doesn't mean that by you trying it makes you weak or makes you, not black or not real or whatever the case may be. That's the bullshit that a lot of times they want to push. You're trying to be like them, or you're trying to act like this, or you're dressing different, and when people say that to you, get as far away from them as possible, man. And start addressing yourself in a higher power. Whether you call yourself whatever your proper name is, or hey, you call yourself in your mind, I'm a millionaire, I'm successful, I'm a billionaire, I'm accomplished, I am somebody, I'm a young god. Whatever you call yourself, man, be proud of it, but use a positive instead of negative. Replace it. Replace the bullshit talk with empowerment talk, and watch your life change, man. Watch the frequency in which you operate on. Watch it evolve. Watch it elevate, and what you attract, watch the attraction change. Even when I was in a shithole amongst a lot of barbarians, I was able to still tap in with some good dudes because of what I sent into the universe, even in that hologram of hell. It wasn't until I learned how to use that I was able to take advantage of it. When I was younger, I had no idea. When I was in juvenile hall, YA, I didn't understand the power of thought. I didn't understand the power of words, or how I perceive myself, or how I define myself, what I called myself. I didn't understand it, but I understand it now. It took me years to master it, but I understand, and I'm still working on it. I'm still learning, still trying to develop it, still a student of the game. And so, I share it with you guys. A lot of you guys, maybe already, maybe you understand where I'm coming from, maybe you think I'm on one, maybe you're trying to look for something too, and this is going to help maybe create that pathway for you. I hope it does create more opportunity for you, though, so you can start being conscious of the words you use and what you ingest, what you download. Because at the end of the day, wherever you're at in life, it's what you created. So if you want to create something different, you gotta change your perception and the words you use to define the world around you. Just some thoughts, man, before I go up in here and hit these weights. You know how I do it, man. Big Herc 916.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.
Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.